welcome to KBI's Play Your Song Academy. Today we'll be talking about how to take care of your percussion kit. We'll be learning about the parts of the percussion kit, the percussion family, what not to do, how to set up your percussion kit, proper playing posture, how to safely put your instrument away, and all the neat accessories you can get. First, let's talk about the parts of the percussion kit. There are many parts to the percussion kit. Inside your case, which might look something like this, you'll find 2 sets of drumsticks. These ones are to be used on your practice pad, and your mallets, which are to be used on the xylophone. This part is the xylophone. It's usually in the bottom of your case, and there's a music stand that attaches to the xylophone. There's also in your case a practice pad. This is meant to be used to practice like you're playing a real snare drum, but without all the noise. And the last, most important part of your drum kit is the stand that actually holds up all of the pieces you need to play. We'll talk about how to set this up a little bit later. Next, let's talk about different instruments that are in the percussion family. The percussion family is the largest group of instruments in the band. It can include any instrument that can be hit, shaken, or scraped to make a sound. That includes almost anything. As you can see in the picture over here, the percussion family includes instruments from the really big bass drum all the way down to the little tiny finger cymbals. All these are really cool instruments that one day you'll learn how to play. Now that you know about a few of the instruments that you are going to be able to play, let's talk about some things you should not do. To help keep your percussion kit in its best working order, there are a few things you should never do. First, you should never ever sit on your sticks. Definitely not on purpose, but also anytime you're about to sit down, just check and make sure that your sticks are not on the chair. Some of them are very thin and could break easily. Another thing that might seem fun at the time, but that you should never ever do, is sword fight with your sticks. Sword fighting could cause some damage to your sticks, which would make it hard for you to play your instruments. Remember, sticks are meant for making music, not war. Another thing to make sure you don't do is tap your sticks together while your teacher is talking. It can make some annoying noise if you're over video, or it can be really distracting to your other classmates. Finally, and most importantly, never use a percussion instrument as a table. Some percussion instruments are very expensive, and you wouldn't want your liquid of some sort or a backpack or a book to damage the instrument and cause problems for your band class or for your own instruments. Now that we know some things not to do, let's talk about how to set up our percussion kit. Now it's time to set up our percussion kit so we can play. There are a lot of pieces to the percussion kit, so I'll explain each one as we go. So in your pocket here, the first thing you're going to want to pull out is the stand. This is the part that rests on the ground. It has 3 little feet here so that it rests sturdy and doesn't slip while you play. So what you'll need to do is there's a screw here. You want to make sure it's loose so that the pieces can slide out. And then you pull each part of the foot out until it looks like this. Then you'll tighten this screw on the side here. But I only use 2 or 3 fingers. You don't want to tighten it too much. Tighten it until it stops, and then you'll set it on the ground like this. Next, you pull out the second part of your stand. So one side has a screw usually that will hold your drum pad, has some part here that holds the bell kit, and then just a plain tube at the bottom. So the plain tube at the bottom is the part we're going to put in next. It goes right in this hole here. You'll adjust the height based on how tall you are. When you set the height, you'll set it to about waist height for your instruments, but we will see that in the next part of the video when we talk about posture. Again, when you tighten it in 2 or 3 fingers until it stops. I'm going to start with the drum pad because the drum pad doesn't need these extra pieces to open. So in your case, figure out where your drum pad is. It'll look something like this. Now the drum pad's pretty cool because it has a little hole here at the bottom that screws on to your stand. It also, no matter what kind of drum kit you have, will have some kind of padding on the bottom of the drum pad, so it could also sit on a table for you to practice. And the kit I have, inside the little pocket where the drum pad was, it also has an extra pad that you can sit here to help stabilize your drum head while it's on the stand. So next you'll want to line up your head with the screw, and then you just screw it right on like this. Sometimes it's a little hard at first, and then you can spin it, and when it finds its spot, it'll stop. Then it's nice and sturdy and set up for you to play. Now, for the bells, we'll just unscrew this right here until it comes off. Don't go too fast because it does eventually come off. You don't want it to go flying across the room. We got our drum head off. Now, if you have this in your kit, you'll want to take it off because the bells won't sit straight on here with this extra pad. Next, you'll pull up your little arms. Mine has a spot where it stops, so these can't go any further. Some of them will keep going up. Just make sure you get your little arms that hold your bells level to the ground. Then, tighten the screw again with 2 or 3 fingers, just until it stops. Now when you're setting it up, make sure you have the larger end, hold it this way so you can see. The larger end is on your left side, and the smaller end is on the right side. So for you, it should look like this. Then, the last thing you do is take your bells and line up the larger side of your bell with the larger side of your stand, and the smaller side with the smaller side. And on the bottom of your bell kit, you'll find another circle. This one does not screw on, it just sets. So find it where the screw is, line it up, and it should just, once you have it even and lined up, it should just set right inside of the stand like that. There you go. It will wiggle a little bit for this one, but it should be sitting sturdy so that it doesn't move too much while you play. And then on a lot of stands, a lot of bell kits, you'll also find a music stand. So there's a lot of weird little pieces of metal on here. So how in the world do you set this up? Well, you'll want to find the smaller ends. They're the ones that are going to connect to your bell kit. So right here on mine, you can see these little pieces of metal. That's where my small piece is just going to press right in there until it's like this. Now, it's also bent, so I just figured out you can put it in backwards too. So you'll want your music kind of moving away from you. Now these pieces will hold the music on the stand while you play. Now that your instrument is all set up, let's go join the KBI percussion instructor in the lesson room to learn how to play with the best posture.
Hi, my name is Randy Bradley, and I'm the percussion teacher here at KBI Music. Now that you know how to put your percussion kit together, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about setting it up to play. So whether you're playing your bell kit or your practice pad, your snare drum, whichever, you want your instrument, a good rule of thumb is for it to be about waist height. There's an adjustment knob in the middle of both of these stands that lets it go straight up or straight down. That's how you change the height of your instrument. A good rule of thumb, again, whether you're playing either instrument, is if you put your sticks or your mallets by your side, when you come up to the drum or to the bell kit, your shoulders and your elbows should stay the same kind of position, the same kind of relaxed position as they were when they're hands by your side. So that's a good check if you're not sure if you've got the right height or not. And then when you come up to play, generally you want to have about 2/3 of the stick or the mallet in the front of your hand, like that. So I'm not holding too far up. If you have one of these big first pairs of sticks, there's a little flag on there. That's usually a good place you can kind of use as a reference. When you play the bells, you may find yourself wanting to play a little bit farther past that, just because there's extra weight in the front from the mallet head. So if you need to choke up a little bit on those, that's okay. When you're playing snare drum, when you bring your sticks up, you're going to make what I call the pizza slice position, which gives you this nice big 90-degree angle right in the middle of the drum. So so it makes it really easy to play. When you play your mallets, you're going to do the same thing, but you're either going to put them offset just slightly so that they can be on the same note, or you can put them side by side if you're playing two different pitches. Depends on how you're starting. But you can keep that same pizza slice position as you play the mallets as well. So now that you know how to set your instrument up, and you know how to set it to the right height, hold the sticks, you should be ready to play.
Now that you've finished practicing, let's talk about how to get your instrument back in the case so that it stays safe. So first, you want to take your music stand up, and there's a little pocket right in your case for you to slide it right into. There are also spaces, here I can hold it up a little bit, for your sticks and your mallets, which you can also see in the picture over there. So first, if you have your bell kit on, you want to take the bell straight off, and you'll place it in the case in the direction it goes. You'll see one end of your case towards the bottom is bigger, and up towards the top it's a little smaller. So you want to put the bigger end in the bigger side of your case. There's usually a little flap that goes over it too, so make sure you pick that up. And then you just lay your bells or your xylophone right down in the case. Then you can put the flap back down. If you also have your drum pad out, you just find the little pocket for your pad in your case and slide it right in there. Next, we want to take apart the stand. So, remember the screw? You want to unscrew it so that the pieces will move. Slide that right down, and then loosen this screw as well so that this whole piece comes out. I like to slide it into the pocket here with the screw end going in first. That way it won't cut you when you open your case later. Then unscrew the bottom of the base as well, just like the other ones, and slide it up, just like this. And then this one, I don't think it matters, but it's easier to get it in this side first so that the feet don't catch on the pocket you're sliding it into. And then you can see on the picture how it looks when you have completely put everything away in your case. Then you just fold it on up, zip it up, and then you can take your bell kit wherever you need to go. There are many, many accessories for percussion instruments. The most popular one is different kinds of sticks and mallets to play all of your instruments. We have a few here for examples. These are some different drumsticks. Each of them have a different tip on them so that you can play different sounds on your drum. There are also different types of mallets for your xylophone or keyed instruments. Some of them have yarn tips, some have plastic, some have rubber, and there's even a whole different set of sticks for the timpani. If you happen to collect them all, you might need somewhere to store them. So we have these, which are called stick bags. This one's a little bit bigger and heftier, and this one also will hold quite a few sticks in it. Inside the stick bags, there are little pockets for you to stick all of your sticks so that you can carry them wherever you go for rehearsal. They also can have a handle so you can put a name tag on it so you can make sure they're yours. If you end up playing something like the timpani, which you might have to tune the heads, which you'll learn how to do later, you might need something like a pitch pipe or a tuner that'll help you pick out where to tune your instrument to. The pitch pipe is kind of like a harmonica. It has notes on it with little holes that you blow into to produce the pitch. There are so many more accessories that you can get for percussion to make different sounds on it, but these are just a few. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you love playing percussion and love learning how to play your song. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@kbimusicshop.com or call us at 540-891-7800. Our staff would love to help you out. Also, check out our website. It's www.kbimusicshop.com for a PDF of this video's information and for all your musical needs. Let us help you play your song.